Is this working? It's a bit angled, is that alright? We're gonna have to do some technical reassurance before we get started. And nobody have been able to join this quickly anyways, so I don't think we are in any rush so far. Oops. Let's check out YouTube, see if we are running. So I'm just gonna make sure we are up and running. Well, are we? Are we? Live streams. Ooh, I can see there's a live stream up and running. Can that be? Oh yes, that is me. The angle is totally dough. Let's adjust. That won't do. I can see there's a live stream up and running. And the audio is working as well, as you just heard. Ooh, could actually lower my screen. Is that better? So how are we doing now? Focus. I need focus. I need light. I need light. Whoa. How about now? Is this better? I think we're quite good now, wouldn't you say? I think we're ready for it. Are you ready for it? That's a bit too bright. Oh, that's better. Oh, did I do that? Okay, so guys, it's time for the evaluation of this week's challenge. Just gonna close down the browser so I don't keep focusing on myself with one eye, or my little brother in the foreground there is actually playing the Nintendo Switch, which he just bought. So if there are any weird noises coming from back there, you know the reason for it. It's Zelda making my brother feel all kinds of stuff. Emotions. We like emotions, so we have no problem with that. Now to the topic of the evening, at least here in Sweden, Stockholm. It's almost 7 o'clock. I am running a bit late. and that is not good, especially not since we are focusing in on self-esteem here. And self-esteem, that's about being true to yourself, doing what you set out to do. That's one part of building self-esteem. And if I tell you guys I'm going to do a live stream between 5 and 6 and I started 7:30, that's not in line with I'm not living integrous. I'm not having any integrity because I'm not doing what I've said I would do. And that kind of thing destroys self-esteem. And boy, am I talking weird today. Doesn't matter. So the topic is self-esteem. You may think it's a bit far-fetched because we are doing rejection therapy. That has been the title of the week. Building self-esteem with rejection therapy. And it is actually the starting point of a long series of self-esteem building weeks that we have ahead of us. Because we have set out to build ourselves up from within, and that means addressing our self-esteem. I'm just so convinced that it's just such a fundamental piece that it's core to resolve all these issues. Or we all have issues, but just fixing it up. If we focus in on building this part, I'd say not all, but so much of the other stuff will just fall into pieces, or at least without any real effort. It's a tremendous, important piece. But so why did I go about focusing in on the rejection therapy then? It is maybe more directly concerned with building self-confidence, like an ability to talk to anybody. But what you don't see, what's behind that, is that self-esteem is a prerequisite for self-confidence. In that sense, self-esteem really is about doing what you know is the right thing to do, what aligns with your values, beliefs, and just doing the right thing. And that's a quite loose way of defining it, but it's the reputation you have with yourself, and that means doing the right thing for you, what your beliefs and mindset reflects, the image you have of life and how you should live it. That's how you should live it. If that image doesn't align with how you're living, you're not being true to yourself, and that just destroys you from within. And there are so many different pieces of this self-esteem that it's a big topic to understand on this surface, and that's why I think it's easier if we just start it out as we have in a practical manner, and to understand the basic concept of that doing the right thing, what you believe is the right thing to do, that is how you build self-esteem. And then we can go on about defining what the right thing is to do, but that's for later. But understanding that you have to do what you believe is what you should do. And so this week it has been about coming up with different questions to ask random people, because it's just questions that you want to ask. And when we go about doing that, we build self-esteem. It's that simple. But the purpose of this challenge is twofold. Partly for me, it's mostly about the self-esteem building part, or at least that's the long-term focus. But also, it's called rejection therapy. It's about desensitizing, I'm not pronouncing that word correctly, but getting used to rejection. Getting in a state where you can just accept that, hey, I got rejected, but it really doesn't matter at all. It just makes me stronger for every time it happens. And when you have that mindset, that's when that is actually becoming a fulfilling prophecy. It's true when you believe it to be true. If you believe that you are getting stronger by every time you are getting rejected, that's what will happen. But if you let yourself get put down by it, if you feel awful about it and let yourself have those emotions and dictate and let them control the rest of your day or week or life, then it won't serve you any good. But you have to do that mindset change that, yeah, it's good for me, it's toughening me, it makes me used to this rejection. Because rejection is but another person's opinion. We have to accept that we are so many people out there, and there's just no way that everybody is gonna like everybody. We have to come to accept that fact. And that is something I've been struggling with. I always, when someone didn't like me or something I did, it nagged on me back here forever. We have to let go of that. And that's why it's so good to practice this rejection therapy. Asking things, getting rejected, and getting used to that. Because secondly, there are so many benefits of this. I don't know where to start. But another benefit of this challenge, besides building self-esteem and getting used to getting rejected, is that you connect with people. You get into an opportunity where something can happen, because that's why we choose not just random questions, but we choose to ask things that really is something that would benefit us, that would serve us really well, because then we're actually making progress in the same time as we're doing this challenge. Actually, an hour ago, before starting this, that's partially why I'm running a little bit late here, I went down to the mall around the corner here, and I set out, I haven't posted this challenge yet because I haven't edited, but I set out to ask 5 people if they have any apartment, to see if I could get a bigger apartment here in Stockholm. And you should know that getting an apartment in Stockholm, that's like the hardest thing you can do. You could put yourself in a queue. There's around 10 to 20 years queue time, depending on where you want to live. In this part of town, it's 20 years on that list to get an apartment. That's crazy. So I set out to go out and ask 5 people, give them my card. Hey, do you happen to have an apartment, or just know somebody that does? If you do, so it would be great if you could just have me in mind and maybe give me a call or something. So that's what I did, and it was very inconvenient. But on the third person I asked, her name was Linnea. She actually said that, well, I don't know any, but I will be going abroad in 6 months, and I live here in Kungsholmen, as this little island is called. It's a 2-room apartment, and I'm gonna be moving abroad for 1 year, and I'm gonna sublet my apartment then. So maybe if you're interested in August, I can reach out to you. Maybe. At least that was what she said, and that was from talking to the third person. It gave me a quite hot lead, and that's just another benefit of this challenge. And I can go on with telling you how fun this challenge has been. It has given me so much energy. But I should say, after the tremendous amount of anxiety and just feeling awful about doing it, but the reward after pushing myself to do the things I set out to do, incredible. Felt like 2-hour workout session, just adrenaline, joy, being so proud of yourself, and just by asking a little question. I mean, the thing I did just now, going down, took me 40 minutes maybe, because I had to walk around a little bit to get the confidence to talk to people. But still, it took me 40 minutes, and I know people that have been looking for apartments for years and they still don't have managed to accomplish things like that. So the thing is, this little challenge we have been doing takes so little time, and the what you extract out of this is it's 10 times the amount of energy that it gives you. The reward is just, it's not proportional at all. And such a fun week. Been the best week in a long time. Incredible. I'm totally freestyling here today. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, that was just this day has just been one of those days when things have. I'm not going to excuse myself. I'm just going to conclude that this challenge was incredible, and I actually believe that I'm going to continue to do this, but we are going to have a self-esteem focus, and I'm going to base the self-esteem theory on the book 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem by Nathaniel Branden. But I've actually been trying to wrap myself around this topic for several weeks. I read the book first time a month ago, I think, but I haven't found a way to present the material, because it's easy to just become another talking head, and that won't get to you. It will just pass. You won't listen to me. So that's why I thought instead I addressed it in a more practical manner. And from now on, maybe I'm gonna do each week do this rejection therapy, and then every other week do a more theory-based. So the coming week, I think, it will be about the first pillar of the 6 pillars of self-esteem, which the book is about, and it's about consciousness, being present, and it is an area we've been addressing before. But he actually has some practices, exercises that you do throughout the week, and I think that's going to be the challenge, and then we can maybe talk a little bit about the theory. But because what I've realized when reading this book is it's so hard to grasp. It's something you have to practically apply and then take it in again and again and again and reflect upon it, because you don't understand it until you really experienced it and dwelled a little bit about it. So we're gonna take it in a really slow pace, I think, and mostly focus in on doing practical exercises. But I still want the theory in there in some way, because it's really profound and good and makes you see things in a new perspective. So that's what's coming ahead of us, and we started off with this week, and yeah, freaking awesome week. That's all I can say. You have to do this if you haven't done this. If you're still hesitating, just set out to do one question during the weekend or the next week if you think it's too much, or just start with emailing some questions, or make a call like I did yesterday. Just start with one question. If it's too big to go one new question every day, just start and get the feel of how great this is. I really want to emphasize this. I'm seriously so excited about where I know this is gonna take me, because I know I've opened the door to possibilities that, yeah. I'm not gonna go on longer with this. We are gonna change the setting. We're gonna move forward to the weekly evaluation, the individual weekly evaluation. That is looking back at our week, your week. How have you been doing? How have you been progressing on your individual goals? I have 7 key areas where I have outlined different goals in these areas. It's social, financial, personal development, spirituality, fun things, work, and one more, health and well-being. That's the 7 key areas which I have outlined specific goals in, and throughout the week I fill out the table which aligns with these different areas. And now, Friday, I go through this table, my notes. I reflect upon what my actions have led to, how I feel about the goals, if I'm actually progressing or maybe I need to course correct, how I've been doing with my habits, which I have aligned with these goals. Habits are just key to everything, if you ask me. If you're thinking about setting goals, start with setting a habit aligned to that goal. How one small thing can make you move towards that thing. Just to mention a tremendously powerful example is that a few months back I started to run to the next bus stop if I had more than like 3 minutes. And that was to align with my overall goal of getting more cardio in. And that small little run has actually turned out to me running 3.5 kilometers every morning and every evening on my way back. So it's almost 7 kilometers every day that I'm now running as a result of this small little habit that expanded without any real effort, just incrementally expanded. And that's the power of habits. But it's about designing them in the right way. And if you look down in this description, you'll find some links there. I haven't posted it yet, but I will in a minute or two, where you can find more about that, where I talk about designing habits. And my source is actually the book, The Power of Habit. Tremendous book. Boy, do I talk a lot. Let's sip it and let's get started on our individual evaluation. If there are any questions, just write them in the chat down there and we'll try to address them. And I'll try to get some air in there. Yep, let's get started. And let's have a cup of water. I'm thirsty. I just got back from my workout. That's why I'm a bit sweaty. Oh, so tasty. Let's get down to business. And as usual, I'm gonna remove this microphone because you don't want to hear me breathe. Let's get down to business. Och kan du sätta på vatten med mig? Ja.
Det räcker nog.
Ja, en stor kopp. Big chop.
Kan du koka där?
Ja.
Kan du koka där? Testa.
Ja.
Testa om det räcker.
Fucking kidding me?
Ja, det är fett. Det var det som skulle få det. Luktar
You can do it.
Jag tycker man höjer eller?
How could I forget my blueberry tea? Need that on the weekly evaluation. What else would it be? Mm.